What if an entire town vanished, leaving behind only one strange word carved into a tree? In 1587, more than 100 English settlers arrived on a small island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. They came with hope to build the first permanent English colony in the New World. But just 3 years later, they were gone. No bodies, no signs of battle, no abandoned tools, only a single clue carved into wood: CROATOAN. To this day, the Lost Colony of Roanoke remains one of the greatest mysteries in American history. The story begins with a man named John White, the governor of the new colony. He arrived at Roanoke Island with 115 settlers, men, women, and even children. Among them was White's daughter, Eleanor Dare, who soon gave birth to a baby girl. Her name was Virginia Dare. She became the first English child born in America. But life in the new colony was difficult. Food was scarce. Relations with local Native American tribes were tense, and supplies were running dangerously low. The colonists needed help, so Governor John White sailed back to England to gather food and supplies. He planned to return within a few months, but fate had other plans. When White arrived in England, the country was preparing for war. The Spanish Armada was threatening England, and every available ship was needed for battle. Because of this, White was unable to return to Roanoke for 3 long years. Imagine leaving your family behind, in a strange land, with limited supplies, surrounded by uncertainty. For 3 years, White had no idea if they were alive. Finally, in 1590, he was able to sail back to Roanoke. What he found shocked him. When White stepped onto Roanoke Island, the settlement was completely silent. The houses were gone. The fort had been dismantled. There were no signs of struggle. It looked like the colonists had simply packed up and left. Then White noticed something strange. Carved into a wooden post was the word CROATOAN, and carved into a nearby tree, the same word again. CROATOAN was the name of a nearby island where a friendly Native American tribe lived. White believed this was a message. Perhaps the colonists had relocated there for safety. But before he could investigate, a violent storm forced his ship to leave the area, and he never returned. Over the centuries, historians have debated what really happened to the Roanoke colonists. One theory says they joined the CROATOAN tribe, blending into the local population and slowly losing their English identity. Another theory suggests they moved inland and tried to start a new settlement, but eventually died from disease or starvation. Some believe they were killed by hostile tribes. Others think Spanish forces may have secretly attacked the colony. But despite centuries of research, excavations, and scientific studies, no clear answer has ever been found. In recent years, archaeologists have discovered English tools and artifacts at Native American sites near the area. This suggests that some colonists may have survived and lived among local tribes, but the evidence is still incomplete. The final fate of the Lost Colony remains unknown. More than 430 years later, the disappearance of the Roanoke Colony still puzzles historians and researchers. An entire community, families, children, gone without a trace, leaving behind only one haunting clue carved into wood: CROATOAN. And a question that still echoes through history: what really happened to the Lost Colony of Roanoke?